flawless. Look at this thing, beautiful gloss black. I did this with all spray cans and it cost me less than 50 bucks. Try me. What's going on, YouTube? It's I Am, and again, I know this isn't a moto vlog, but again, who says this channel has to be all about motos? So what I'm doing today is a quick tutorial on how to paint your wheels. I'm doing my bends right now, but let's go ahead and get down to the jump. I'm going to go ahead and show you what tools you're going to need. First things first, you're going to need a scuffing pad. I got the Master Pro refinishing pads. I got these from O'Reilly's. They were like $5 or $6, but you can go with Scotch-Brite. I like this because it came with 3 pads, and I've already used this pad on my grill and one wheel, and I still got plenty of scuff left on this thing. These things last forever. But you can also use like a 2000 or 3000 sandpaper if you wanted to. Next thing you're gonna need is the paint. I went with the Duplicolor wheel coating kit. I got the Sandable Primer Automotive Series. I got the Duplicolor Wheel Gloss Clear Coat and the Duplicolor High Performance Wheel Coating. And this is this cap actually looks like it's going to be flat black, but there's actually kind of more of a matte satin. It's not a full satin, not a full semi-gloss, so it's kind of like in between like matte and, like I said, like a satin semi-gloss kind of coat. But again, and I did go with the black primer. Next things, and before I forget, these were about $7 a piece, also at O'Reilly's. Next thing, coverall. And I'm gonna tell you what you need the coverall for as well. The neighbor's dog is tripping. Anyways, next thing you're gonna need a microfiber and some glass cleaner. And of course, you're also gonna need a heavy duty respirator mask. Trust me, it's gonna get fumey. Forgot to let you know, I got this from Home Depot actually, cost about 25 bucks. So, step 1, you're gonna want to take your scuffing pad and you're gonna want to start to scuff this wheel up the best that you can. I always start with the hard to reach areas in between the grooves. And remember, I'm doing this on the bends, and I already did one wheel. As a matter of fact, let me show you how that wheel looks. Oh yeah, it's the wheel in the thumbnail, just saying. You don't believe me? I'll be right back. This is the first wheel that I did. This thing came out perfect and flawless. Look at this thing, beautiful gloss black. I did this with all spray cans and it cost me less than 50 bucks. Try me. So now that you guys know I'm not bluffing, back to getting this thing scuffed up. So for some of these hard to reach areas, if you have wheels like this, it's kind of best to put the Scotch-Brite in, reach it around, and kind of floss it. Do just like that. And you'll see you get that inside nice and scuffy. You especially want to make sure that you get these little hard to reach areas like this. Perfect. Scuff the outside of the rim really well because you're going to want to get this outside nice and primed heavy. The reason I say that is because you're going to want the paint to adhere to the primer very, very well, because when they go to change your tires, that little bar they use to pry your tires off is going to be all around this edge, and you don't want your fresh paint job to get all beat up by a tire change. That can be annoying. Let's get back to scuffing this thing up though. As you can see, I got this wheel nice and scuffed up perfectly. Every little crack and crevice should basically be good to go. I'm always double checking, triple checking to make sure everything tight. So, as I said, coverall is a good way to go, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you why. Now you may be asking yourself, why is this dude putting tire shine on before he paints his wheels? Does that even make sense? Yes, Johnny. It makes perfect sense. Who wants to spend time trying to mask off of a tire? Please, tell me, who wants to spend time jamming 100 index cards around their tire? Who wants to do that? I personally don't want to. So now that I've put tire shine on there, and the reason that is because the paint is not gonna stick to this oily surface. So I'm not gonna risk messing up my perfectly good Michelin AS3 Plus Pilot Sport tire. Not gonna mess it up because the paint's not gonna stick to it. And again, the proof is in the pudding. I showed you on the first tire I did, first wheel that I did, and everything worked out good to go. Next thing you want to do, go ahead and get some auto glass cleaner. I recommend doing this, or you can even dilute some rubbing alcohol, do a 50-50 mixture into a spray bottle, and kind of get the same effect. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray this real quick On my microfiber cloth, which is extremely dirty, doesn't matter. And the reason you want to wipe it down is because you want to get all this dust that you just created by scuffing your wheel up. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe this off, and I'll check back in a second. Now that you got the wheel nice and scuffed up, you're going to want to go ahead and mask off your brake pads and your rotor. And you can do that with any Walmart bag or grocery bag or trash bag. I'm going to use this same bag that I used on my first rim, and I'm going to go ahead and slide this on, and I'll show you how to do that. It's actually pretty easy. You're just going to want to go ahead and loop this through, get it all the way in, just like that. Open it up while it's in there, wrap it around. And if you have a German car, Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or BMW, you're going to want to be extra careful to make sure that you actually get the plastic bag over the brake caliper. And the reason that is because German luxury cars have brake caliper sensors to measure the wear on your brake pad. So you don't want to get paint on those. Perfect. Went ahead and got that masked off and done. Now we're good to go. Next thing we want to do is, since we touched it, we want to go ahead and wipe it down one more time. Just do a quick wipe down to make sure that anything from our sweaty, greasy arms or hands didn't get on there when we were putting that bag over the brake rotor and caliper. Now, I'm a nut when it comes to using spray cans. Now, I'm just going to shake this thing, and I'm going to shake this thing, and I'm going to keep shaking this thing until I feel like it's good to go. And basically, you just want to hear that ball moving around in there kind of freely, upside down a little bit. We should be good to go. I'm going to strap this mask on, start priming this bad boy, let you know how to do that. Be right back. So, I'm back, and I hope you guys can still hear me with this respirator mask on. For all intents and purposes, I'm definitely yelling right now. Now we're going to start doing strokes up and down. We're going to hit every crevice all the way around the wheel, and we're not going to slack off whatsoever. You see how I'm spraying this? Perfect. So this is how your first coat is going to look. And I probably even went a little bit too heavy on this first coat, but that's fine. I'm going to let this sit for about 5 or 10 minutes until it's dry to the touch, and then I'm going to hit it with the second coat. Basically, I'm going to end up doing about 3 coats of primer in total. Then I'm going to do 3, sometimes 5 of my color coat, and then I'm going to come back and hit it with about 3 coats of clear, and then it's done. Total work time, this may end up taking you 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, just depending on how patient you are and how much time you want to put into it. Check back in a second. All right, guys, I'm back, and I'm getting ready to go ahead and put on my second coat of primer. Let's go. Perfect. Second coat of primer is on and good to go. I'm gonna let this sit for about 5 to 10 more minutes, and I'll check back in with the third coat of primer. All right, I'm back again. As you can see, this primer coat is setting in, and this is the third coat. We're gonna get this knocked out right now. Perfect. Got all 3 of these primer coats knocked out. Next thing we're gonna do is get our color coats put on there. I'll check back in about 5 or 10 minutes, and we'll go ahead and get this started off. Okay, guys, it's time to go to work. I'm back. We got 3 nice heavy-duty coats of primer. You can see how perfectly this cured, and we're gonna go ahead and get this color coat knocked out. And I'm gonna be applying this the same exact way I did the primer. I'm not gonna be doing a dust coat. It's not necessary because the wheel is already primed. Let's get into it. Perfect. Got coat 1 knocked out. This already looks good. We're gonna let this sit for 5 or 10 minutes and I'll check back in with coat 2. All right guys, you see the rattle can, I got it back in my hand. Let's go ahead and get coat 2 of the color coat on. Let's get this baby knocked out. Got coat number 2 knocked out, and I think I might actually end up doing 4 coats on this. So we're gonna go ahead and fast forward to that, check back in. So one thing I did want to go ahead and point out is, like I was saying at the beginning of the video, that this cap would make you think that this is a flat black paint. But again, you can look at my finish right now to see where I'm at on coat 2 of my color coat, and you can see that this obviously has kind of a, like I said, like it's not a full semi-gloss. It kind of looks that way because parts of it are still wet, but again, it's not flat, it's not a semi-gloss, it's kind of like somewhere in the middle. So when you buy this stuff, I don't want you to think that you're getting flat black and you're not. Check back in a second. Okay, that was coat number 4. I'm gonna let this sit for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then it's gonna be time for the gloss. Oh yeah, check back in a moment. All right guys, now it's time for the most important part, and that's the clear coat. Now the reason that the clear coat is the most important part is this is the part where you do not want to mess up. You've come way too far to fail. So when you're putting on the clear coat, you still want to do full wet coats. I'm going to be doing 3 coats, and you really want to take your time and follow the same pattern each time. Don't do too heavy of an overlay if you're an overlay kind of person like I am. Again, just take your time and do it right the first time around. Here we go. Perfect. First clear coat is applied. I'm gonna check back in a few minutes. As a matter of fact, bump that. Let's go ahead and fast forward to coat number 2, coat number 3, and I'll show you the finished product. That was coat number 2. Check back in a second. Well guys, there you have it. That's the 3rd coat. I'm gonna let this sit, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you a full side view of the car, give you a close-up on the rim, show you that there is absolutely no runs whatsoever, and this came out next to flawless. So that's gonna be 3 primer coats, 4 base color coats, 3 clear coats, and we're good to go.